All right. Give us one moment here. We're still waiting on getting the camera set up here at trackside, so just bear with us as we need just a couple more minutes here as we get ready to roll tonight.
Alrighty, there we are. Now we're rolling here. So we are here with the Extreme Truck Series once again here on the Pole, brought to you by the Fleeger Farm Television. Got a few drivers in the lineup ready for tonight. Sorry, you're getting tried. Oh man, things are just out of order here this evening for me. I'm trying to get everything situated and ready to roll here. There we are. We got about 15, just under 16 minutes left in practice here. Jonathan Herbert should be out on track if I can get a nice picture of him. There we are at start finish line. Let's see if we can get. There we are. So we're looking there at the 34 of Jonathan Herbert. Sorry if I sound a little funny at the moment, but I'm trying to finish my dinner as I'm starting here. Tom Marshall out on track, getting a few laps in a beautiful looking Coca-Cola number 7 machine. Ian Ogden out there in the number 24. Who will be able to stop that 24 tonight? I gotta start taking better notes. I think he was last week's winner, but I'm not positive on that. Or did top 5 not even show last? Team 5 not show last week? I don't remember. Let me see here. There should be a race winners. That's it. That's what I'm at. Yes, Ian Ogden won on the 5th, but I don't know who won on the 12th. So let's see. See if I can get with the race controller. See if I can get him to answer me who last week's winner was. Michael, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Alrighty, it's Flinkster up in the booth here. Do you remember who last week's winner was? I can't seem to find it anywhere.
The last winner?
Last week's
it was
winner
Ian Ogden, of course.
It was who?
Ian Ogden.
I thought I had that correct. I just wanted to double check and make sure on that.
Yeah, I don't think we've had a different winner since Brett.
Alrighty, yeah. So who knows? Maybe tonight's the night we will have a different winner here. But some of you tuning in here will notice that the stream is labeled that we are at Gateway, but we are mistaking. That's got changed on us. So we are not at Gateway. We're at Chicagoland.
Yeah, Flicker, there was some weather at Gateway, so we had to move out of there and come to Chicago.
Alrighty, well, it works for us. I failed to get the memo we were moving tracks, so it was a little shock to me. I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss something in the schedule or something?
Yeah, there was a tornado at Gateway, ripped out some of the grandstands.
Alright, yeah, we didn't need to be messing with tornadoes and stuff, so.
Yeah, I would have thought it would have been some kind of ride or something.
Right.
Oh no, we're at Chicago tonight. Never mind.
Yeah, we're at Chicagoland tonight.
Yeah, we're clear over here. Everything looks good.
And we see Ogden taking some spins down through the infield grass down the front stretch.
Yeah, I'm practicing my victory lap here.
Okay. You're that confident tonight, are you?
He's working on his victory donuts.
No, actually, I saw some high spots in the grass. You know, since we got here so late, with the change in schedule, the landscapers didn't get to certain parts of the grass there, so they needed some help.
Okay, so you're helping them level it off and stuff.
Yeah, it's perfect 3.5 inches. We can't have anything looking pretty raggedy out there.
Alrighty, well, I'll let you get back out of your practice. Mike, will we see you out on track tonight, or are you going to be?
I don't think so. Yeah, I've been still having problems with my pedals, so I don't think I'm gonna risk it tonight. I think I'm just gonna lay back and maybe join you in the booth.
Alrighty, well, as we get ready to roll here, we got about 11 and a half minutes left in practice as we'll check in with our league owner, Dave Stinson here. Some of these guys, it's hard for me to pick up on what paint scheme they're actually running because they change it every week, it seems.
Oh, you know my paint scheme.
You're probably the only one that stays consistent.
You know, I gotta rep my guys over at Fleeger Farm Paint Shop.
Yeah, as we're talking there, he is out on track with that that number 13 purple and white, or pink and white, whatever you want to call it, with the chrome across the back. If we can get a good view, get our camera guy to give us a good view of the back. There we are. Good back view of that number 13, the chrome, with the Let's Grow branding on the back. Good looking machine. Glad you're pleased with it. We'll up ourselves back on down. We'll go and let them get back to their practice. So Michael Newton there in that 13 is just going to run some practice laps. He is not going to do any racing tonight. He's going to strictly focus on race control. Looks like we might have 11 drivers in here. I got a Mike Toomey Jr. that is in session but is not taking a lap yet here in this practice. We got Randy Lapidus there in the number 4. I don't think we saw him last week, or he came in late. That might have been what that was he came in late. Dave's, everybody's hitting pit road. We got Jonathan Herbert out there again with that number 34. David Swift in the number 85 from Richmond, Kentucky. Full Send graphics there on the side. So while we're still in practice, let's go and hear a word from one of our station shout-outs, White Cane Coffee.
The only thing worse than being stuck at home is being stuck at home without coffee. We can't let that happen. Browse our selection and order online. From sweet to tangy, hot or iced, we have something for you. White King Coffee, because every cup makes a difference. Cheers.
You know what would make that better? A cup of White King coffee.
Wow, that really is great coffee.
White King coffee, because every cup makes a difference.
All right, so that was White Cane Coffee. They are located here in PA, a little farther north from where I'm currently located with where I currently live at. Great coffee. They do some, it's definitely interesting too, if you ever have the chance to stop in at their coffee shop in Warren, PA. They, all their machines are catered to people with disabilities. He only hires people with disabilities, whether it be blind or visually impaired. Also physical disabilities he hires. So great little place up there. The owner of it is completely blind. Her father actually helps her run some of the books and stuff, but she completely has control of what goes on there, so that's great to see. Definitely look them up at White King Coffee. I should put a link into the description here so it'd be easier for you guys to reach. Sorry if it sounds like I'm a little bit out of sorts over here still, as I'm still finishing my dinner from the concession stand I got. Got about just under 7 minutes left of practice now. Mike Toomey finally making some laps around the track in that number 12 Google Pixel machine. Driving for JLAS Racing, if I can read the back of that truck correctly. PlayStation there on the side. Patagonia. Randy Lapidus driving that number 4 Built Ford Tough machine. He's definitely had an up and down season this year. Hopefully he can finish out strong. But your dominating driver this year, or this season with the Extreme Truck Series, is with Ian Ogden out of Chester, Virginia, driving with that 1111 sponsored machine. Laid down some pretty dominant performances. Last week, wasn't sure if he was going to have it. But pulls it off. Hope you're enjoying what you're there watching there, Dominic, as I see our multi-stream chat there off to the corner of my screen. People can write in their comments, and I'll try to mention them here as we're on air. Michael Newton's going to take a few more laps. He's out of Springfield, Maine, I think. If I've got my... No, that's not right. I'll have to figure out what... Springfield, MA. I'm not good with state abbreviation. I am completely sorry with that. So I'm sure somebody knows what state that is. I'll figure it out at a later point in time. There could be a chance that he'll join me in the booth, too. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how his night goes. Like I said, this is the Extreme Truck Series. We are presenting to you here on... So he's here. Okay, Dominic, so you're here supporting the 67 machine of Josh Brown. Don't think I got him on camera yet. JMB E-Racing. We've got the number 4 of Randy Lapidus underneath him currently here in practice with about just under 4 minutes to go. JMB E-Racing, if I'm seeing that correctly. Good looking machine there. Currently running about sixth in time here in practice. Practice times, I always say, just give us a ballpark, because come qualifying, and really qualifying, it just helps you out. But when you start racing side by side, you got getting these people racing these drivers racing side by side. Anything can happen. So just because you qualified up front doesn't mean you're going to finish up front. It all depends on what the other drivers around you do, and hopefully not too much contact. So Josh Brown definitely has a fan watching. Glad you're here. Hopefully I'm doing you justice and can bring you the action to you just fine. As out in front of Josh Brown is the 4 of Randy Lapidus. Give me one moment here, folks. Crack open a cold can of cola here, and we'll get underway. Michael Newton diving to the bottom here. He's going to go mow some grass off for the grounds crew. Paul Viato. They're in the Wonder Truck. Look, that's a number 420 on the board. Since we can't quite read the side of that truck too well, since it's all scraped up at the moment. Ogden out front, and he's still got the fastest time there with a 31:02, but he better keep the eye on the mirror as Tom Marshall has laid down a 31:06. Randy Lapidus has ran a 31:07, Stinson with a 31:08, so not really too much time between them top 4 trucks. So it'll be interesting to see as we're down to 20 seconds left here of practice before we get into qualifying. Now, if I remember correctly, the way this series runs, we're going to run practice, then they go into qualifying, then they go into hot laps before they go into their main feature. if my memory serves me correctly on this. Checkered flag waves here in practice. So they're all going to come down. That'll probably be the last we see of Michael Newton in that number 13, as he said that he will not be racing. He'll be more of a grounds crew. Or he'd be more of a race controller, I should say. He is the race controller for the group here on Thursday night. So let's take a moment, and I'd like to present our flag. So please, let's join together in that.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
All right, and we're back here at qualifying. Looks like we have a few times locked in. Ogden with a 31.03. Let's keep an eye on the 4 and the number 7 of Randy Lapidus, as he shows that he is coming out onto the track. Tom Marshall still is still waiting to see how the times stack up here. But Ogden took about 5 thousandths off of his time, or 500ths, I should say, 500ths off his time. We'll see how Randy Lapidus does here on his laps. Oh, excuse me. So Randy Lapidus is looking pretty decent out there. First lap was a 31.16. We'll have to see what his second lap is here. Looks like he's at a 31.03. Or no, 31.09. I'm sorry, 31.09. So 31.09 for Randy Lapidus. That'll put him into second place. I will see where Mike Toomey is. How he's doing out here on the track. Going down there to the bottom side. I'm hoping that I can get the, I'm not getting too much sound through here, am I? That should help. Alrighty, so we're watching the 12 of Mike Toomey. See where Josh Brown. Josh Brown looks like he's currently in 5th place. Mike Toomey pulled up in the 2nd place now with a 31.09. So that'll drop Lapidus down in the 4th. Well, is Tom Marshall not running? As he's the only one I do not see on the grid as of yet. Let's take a quick word from another station sponsor. The Lions Club International Kids Site Program. Yeah.
Sight is one of the huge things that impacts a child's learning. And if you can step in at a young age, you can change that child's life forever.
My husband, Gene, and I go in and screen 4 and 5 days a week. If we find one child that we can help, we feel like we've done a successful screening.
Put your head up just a little. There you go. We screened a little boy. He could not see the milk on his tray. We got him glasses, and his mama said I cried. I did not know that that child could not see.
I could see with my glasses on.
My son was 3.5 when the Lions Club screened his eyes. We discovered that my son had amblyopia.
It's typically caused by the two eyes getting abnormal and unequal input into the brain. The parents can't tell that because the child functions normally with the dominant eye.
It's so cool.
Very good.
We started with the process of his treatment in the form of him wearing a patch so that the weak eye would be forced to work.
The devices we use today are easy to use. You can do very simple training.
And you get those green circles.
To get lions out in the field doing the screenings.
Gavin, can you look right at the front of that camera? Screening the children is fairly simple. Within 30 seconds of taking an image, we can determine if the child is referred for further testing or has passed the screening.
What really made this possible is the development of technologies that allowed the detection of risk factors for problems that cause vision loss in children.
The camera checks for 13, 14 different issues with the eye. And it brings up astigmatism, amblyopia. There's a number of issues that come up.
One of the great things is the follow-up, to really make sure that the children are being seen by a professional to get those vision problems corrected.
The biggest way that this has now grown is that the pediatricians recognize that this technology works.
Looks good.
Every referral is a success story in my mind because we found somebody that needs some help.
Lions screened over 500 kids today. How many people can say that? How rewarding that is to know that you've served your community in that manner. You don't get paybacks like that very often.
Avery's on the brink of turning 16. He's a very bright young man, and he is a very good athlete. And we attribute all these things that he's able to do now because his vision has been saved through the Lions. We all have a story as to why we joined the Lions Club. And for me, my story is personal. The Lions Club saved my son's vision.
Sorry for the brief interruption there as we are here in warm-ups. We're going to try to make sure we can keep this thing rolling underway. But here in my booth, could potentially have some weather issues here this evening, but we're going to try to keep us rolling as clean as quickly as we can to try to push through this. So as we see out on track, we've got the number 12 of Mike Toomey. Dave Swift there in the 85. Ogden out there. Looks like Lapidus is second here in warm-ups with a 31.07. Brown also with a 31.07. So Brown's throwing his name into the mix. As we're getting ready and to rock and roll here this evening. Who is somebody going to have something for our dominant winner here? Avi and Ogden. I'm trying to see who that is there behind him. It looks to be the 85 of Swift. Right up there on the bumper of Ogden. So we're definitely, Ogden might have to watch that mirror tonight. And some of these drivers are trying to figure out what the best line is to get around here at Chicagoland. And try to dethrone Ogden from that top spot. As we see Swift trying to go to the inside. Down the backstretch, you see Randy Lapidus coming onto the track as they're diving down into turns 3 and 4. The 85. Oh, looks like Ogden may have brushed the wall there. See if we can get a passenger side view of that. As we continue to run here. Ogden bounces up and takes out Lapidus. I don't think that is quite what he had in mind there. Well, I rewind that and see what we look here. Relook at this. Here in practice. What happened here to my camera? Alright, there we go. So, we got the 85 of David Swift. Ogden just comes up and kind of just shoves him up the track a little bit. Swift ends up into the wall, comes down, tags the 4 of Lapidus. Lapidus doing all he can to keep it from slamming the wall again, but does not, unfortunately, keep it off the wall as he slides that driver's side back up into it. So, should be some pretty good action here this evening. As we got about 3 minutes left of warm-ups to go. And then hopefully we're going to be keeping an eye on the weather here in our booth to hopefully get this underway and through with no issues. I'm going to take another look here at the weather from my end to make sure that I got the connection available. As looks like it could stay mild for us, and that's what I'm going to hope for. So that's all we can do is hope that we get it through in time. There's the 93 of Dave Stinson. He's now up there in that second position with a 31.06. So the top 5 drivers are really laying down close times to one another. Definitely going to come down to how much they wear out those tires. And I'm not sure if fuel economy is going to play a part in this race or not. That is still yet to be seen. As you see Stinson going there on the pit road. Got about 1:40 left here in practice. Or in warm-up, I should say. Drivers getting them final adjustments done to these trucks. Before we hit the feature here this evening. The main event. Oh, we got Herbert in here watching Jonathan. Jonathan's currently on pit road, but he's sitting at 7th position in the practice, or in the warm-up. We're going to do what we can to run this out. Trying to free up some broadband here for me so that I can make it run a little smoother, hopefully. I'm keeping an eye on it. Alrighty, sorry for getting the background noise, but looks like we're getting ready to start the main feature. So without further ado, let's take a look at this grid. You got Ian Ogden in first, Mike Toomey there second, Randy Lapidus third, Andrew Schroeder there fourth, Josh Brown fifth, Dave Stinson there in sixth, Paul Vitelli, Viatel there in seventh, Jonathan Herbert eighth, David Swift in ninth, David Hanna there in 10th, 11th will be Mike Newton, and 12th will be Tom Marshall. I think those two are your race controllers, or, wait, no, okay, Mike has gridded up. So Tim Marshall is approximately our race controller here this evening. As we get ready to rock and roll here from Chicagoland. Again, if we have to jump off quickly, we will do so, but we're going to try to hold things steady here and roll with it. But if things all of a sudden shut down, please understand that is not my doing. That is just Mother Nature saying that we will be done. So, here we are, first lap. Ogden out front. What a, it's not like we haven't seen that view before with Ogden sitting out there on the pole. Don't think I remember that truck too much. That 45 or 48 of Andrew Schroeder. That's a truck I don't remember seeing too much of. And we're looking at him coming down the backstretch. There is the 48. Looks like that is a Jets painted machine. So we may have seen him before, just in a different paint job, if I remember correctly. I know.